Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Ruby Gill, and I welcome you all on the behalf of lovely professional university. So, attendees, I know you might be wondering the reason of gathering virtually. Let me reveal the reason we are here with an agenda to give you an insight of campus life at LPU, which leads to your holistic development. So we have the expert to brief you about the same. So let me introduce the expert of the day, Dr. Kanishk Jha, Assistant Dean, Associate Professor, Head, Department of Entrepreneurship, Student Welfare Wing, an intellectual professional with a doctorate degree in polymer composites and more than 8 years of experience as an academician. To his credit, he has more than 25 research papers published in international journals of repute. So, sir, it's a privilege to have you on board with us today. Thank you so much for joining. Additionally, we have with us our alumni of highest caliber and repute, Mr. Rahul Rawat, student of BTech CSE batch 2016, lovely professional university. Currently, he is working as Chief Operating Officer in Digantra. He is into cultivating innovation in space technology with an agenda of space operations safety and space sustainability. So we heartily congratulate you for your unprecedented success and all the best for kickstarting your career in blockbuster way. So thank you so much for joining, Rahul. Additionally, we have with us our admission expert, Ms. Rachna Bajaj, Senior Assistant, Lovely Professional University, and attendees today. She'll give you an insight of eligibility fee and scholarship, which I'm sure will make you save a lot of money. And in addition to that, she'll also be briefing you about the infrastructure of the university. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. So with this, we'll begin our today's webinar. So over to you, Dr. Kanishk Jha sir, for the content of the day and looking forward for a great interactive session.
Thank you very much, Ruby ma'am, for a wonderful introduction of myself and our guest today, that Mr. Rahul Rawat, alumni LPU, who's running his own, space tech startup, Digantra. So welcome, my freshmen here today in the very interactive sessions, and here I'll be talking about your life beyond the classroom and how we handle the student diversity in the campus by student welfare wing. So when I say student welfare wing, it's not exactly I'm doing any welfare to the students. It's something that this youth is having so much of energy, and we're supposed to channelize that particular energy in a very rightful manner. So what we do in student welfare wing is we channelize your energy in the right directions, right? When I mention the direction could be, we are running 4 different divisions in the student welfare wing. The very first could be the division of art and culture. And when I talk about art and culture, we have various societies running under the art and culture: music society, dance society, fine art society, literary society, theatre society. And every one of you can join the society and excel in your hobbies, right? Having said that, next division is division of sports. We are handling more than 40 plus sports in campus and out campus sports, whether it's horse riding, whether it's swimming, whether it's kayaking, canoeing, it's cricket, it's football, any athletic events. You must have heard our Neeraj Chopra, one of our alumni, one of our students, current students, who has won the gold medal in Olympics, right? So we are doing very good in division of sports also. We are offering every kind of sports facility. We have mentors, your coaches in sports directly, from the side institutes. Then we have division of youth and affairs. Under youth and affairs, we have various organizations running by the students for the students, right? And then we have a division of innovation and startup, where we can cultivate the various ideas of students, the innovative ideas of the students, and try to transform those ideas into entrepreneurial mindset, right? If you have a zeal that your idea is good enough to be commercialized in the market, then you're sure come to us and we can do wonders along with you, right? So yes, I've always say this particular thing, that be better than before. You always have to improve yourself day by day. Every day is, an opportunity to improve yourself. So we don't have all equal opportunities every day, right? But we all have the opportunity to be better than what we currently are. So we provide all those opportunity in the student welfare wing under 4 divisions. You can come, you can join one of the divisions club and excel in your own expertise. So I'll ask everyone when the joining process starts, what are the opportunities that you can expect in the future?
Finish said, I believe there is some kind of technical glitch at your end because your video is stagnant right now. Tanisha sir, can you hear me?
Was again and then I have to join back again. Is Ruby ma'am there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now
Please
we
give me
can
the
hear
right.
you, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so
I've
much.
already provided you.
Yeah, I got it, and I'm back again. I hope I'm visible.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking about, how we can provide, the opportunities for the freshmen to channelize their energy into various opportunities we have in the student welfare wing, starting from Division of Art and Culture, Division of Youth Affairs. We talk about, we have student organization, we have NSS Club, National Service Serving Scheme, then we have NCC, National Cadet Corps, Department of Youth Capital, and educational tie-ups. Right. When we move into Division of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, we are doing three important things under this particular division. We have Division of Innovation, Department of Innovation, where an innovative idea can be nurtured into a fruitful product, a prototype. Then if the viability is there, we can take those ideas towards the entrepreneurship, right? So, and then third department, which is one of very important department for students, is earn while you learn, and nowadays we call it as a finance assistance cell. We provide part-time job opportunities for the students while they are studying in the campus. Those opportunities could be in the form of telecaller, could be in the form of, YouTube blogging, then content writing, handling social media for university, handling social media for any other third party also, right? So all those opportunities were provided under part-time job category, so that student can learn during their learning process in the university. Then we have skill development, various courses we run under skill development apart from your regular curriculum, right? So I'll always ask, do you want to expose yourself to other cultures and backgrounds of the world? For that particular thing, we have a very huge mega event organized every year in the campus, that is One World. One World is an event in which every country student participate, you know to demonstrate their culture of their own country. It's a very huge event in which more than 40 countries were participating, and you were exposed to various cultures of the world. Then, do you want to bring glory to yourself? As I also mentioned, if you have awareness about some sports and you are doing good in sports, we can make you better than what you really are. with the help of our national level coaches, then you can compete on the national levels and bring glory to yourself, to your parents, and to your university, right? For that particular thing, we provide, if we can say about swimming, we have Olympic level swimming pools available in the campus. We have 16 badminton courts, 7 squash courts. We have football grounds, we have rugby grounds. Every opportunities we are providing for these students in the campus, right? So that's all about sports. If you want to serve the society, right, I have mentioned that under the division of youth affairs we have NSS club available. So if you want to serve the society, you can join the NSS and be the change in yourself, right, by serving the society. And in case you want to develop interpersonal skills like leadership skills, creative skills, or any sort of skills, you can develop your own organization and start motivating the others as well. We talk about student research and project cell. It's a very specific uh, cell working under division of innovation and entrepreneurship, where a student can come with their own innovative projects and they can work upon it. It could be a research project also. So a multidisciplinary research is the, what I can say, the output of this particular cell, where many students from different domains can work together and go for the research projects. Then, as I already mentioned, entrepreneurship, right? If you have the particular zeal that you don't want to be an employee and you want to be an employer, so this is the right place to come and join the student entrepreneurship cell or the department of entrepreneurship as a volunteer or as an a person who wants to bring the change in the society with an idea. So people might get confused between startup and a business. Business is something which is already being running these days, right? But the startup is something which has to have the innovative flavor in the idea, and it is not more than 2 to 3 year old business, right? So the important thing with the startup is it has have to have an innovative flavor in the idea, right? So these all we have educational tie-ups, as I mentioned, skill development. You can go through various skill development courses. Youth Vibe, LPU's Global Open Fest, right? So if you events, so this is the right place, and the best team to work with is the student entertainment and event management team. We host the biggest event in the campus by calling various Bollywood stars, by calling various reputed professionals of the industry, like head of the ISRO, like president of India, everyone being visited here in the campus, and we organize them pretty well. I've already mentioned part-time and to earn while you learn. And the next is the Uni Communication Network TV. If you want to report for your campus, you want to blog for your campus, and you want to be a YouTuber or you want to be a social media influencer, so this is the right place, the Uni Communication Network, to enhance your skill and become the one of the best in yourself, right? So in the end, I just want to say, dream big, set goals, and take actions. We are all waiting for you to come and join with one of the club on the student welfare wing to channelize your energy in the rightest possible manner, right? So that's all from my side, the introduction of the student welfare wing. Over to you, Ruby ma'am, for the next session, I think.
Thank you so much, sir, for intensifying and magnifying the knowledge of our attendees. And this was quite impactful presentation by you, sir. Yes, sir. Now we have our admission expert, Ms. Rachna Bajaj. So, ma'am, over to you for the admission part of the university, and then we'll interact with our alumni, Mr. Rahul Rawat. So, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ruby. I'll just share my screen quickly. Okay, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, so a very good morning to all our students. I'll be just quickly showing you how you can go through all the programs, and if you want to proceed for admissions and get any of the details related to any of our programs related to scholarship fees and the webinars and everything. So what you have to do is just quickly visit our website lpu.in, and on the top you will see an icon of admissions where we have segregated all the programs like after 12th programs, after graduation, after post graduation, and on this side, on the left side, we have a residential facilities if you want to go through all the residential facilities which are being offered, and the reporting and induction school, and anything related to scholarship. So let's say if you want to explore any of the program related to like after 12th, just click on after 12th programs, and all the programs and disciplines which are available at campus at LPU will be in front of you. So let's say if you want to explore anything about engineering, I'll click on engineering, and all the streams related to engineering like electronics, robotic and automation, IT, electrical engineering will be available. So I'll just quickly click on CAC, and here we have segregated our CAC programs as regular program, an honors program with industry collaboration. We have work integrated program, industry collaborative, and international credit transfer option programs. So I'll just simply click on the regular program for CAC. Here you can see that the duration of the program, which clearly states that it is a 4 years program with total 8 semesters, and the eligibility criteria, minimum 60% in 12th with physics, maths, English as compulsory subject, and LPU NEST or JEE main. Further, if you scroll down, you can see some of the key highlights like the salary packages which went for 64 lakh per annum, and other student achievement details, the rankings of the program, the curriculum of the program, and the same you can find on all the programs as well. And once I scroll down here, I can see the fees and scholarship of this program. Although the without scholarship fees goes 1,20,000, but here we have segregated all the categories for our scholarship. You can click here and check the tentative cutoff for LP NEST exam, because the LP NEST exam is not only for eligibility criteria, but it will also help you avail better scholarship benefits. So if you scroll down, you can see some other details and other scholarships, like other special scholarships, the financial aids which we are offering, like for need-based, serving retired defense, CAPF, to orphans, financial aid to person with certain disability as well. And once you scroll down, you can see some of the important dates related to the program, and the same will be, you can see same details on any of the program you click on. As you can see that the last date to apply for admissions in any of the program at LPU is 31st August 2022. So I would suggest you to take quick decisions so you can apply for one of the prominent universities of India. And in case if you have any queries, feel free to get in touch with us. We have listed our helpline numbers and contact details on the right side of the screen. We have a live video counseling icon. We have a schedule a call icon. Our WhatsApp team is available for you. And down here, we have listed our helpline numbers as well. And I'll just wind up with one more important thing. We have already conducted such webinars in the past, and we will be keep conducting such informative webinars in the coming future. So you just have to click on LPU's EduFair webinars on the left side, and all the details related to the webinars will be available, and you can register yourself. So over to you, Dr. Ruby. I hope I have shared all the basic details with our students, which can be helpful for them for future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the detailed information about the admission part. And I believe after this, attendees will be proficient in how to route towards the website, and how to take all, how to get to know about all the facilities. So thank you so much, ma'am. And now I would like to request Dr. Kanishka sir to join us. Kanish sir, can you hear me?
I'm here.
Yes, sir. So over to you, sir. Now you can
So,
interact with our alumni, sir.
thank you once again, Ruby ma'am. I'm back here. I'm back here for a very important aspect of this particular discussion for this particular session today. We are here to talk one of the alumni of the LPU University. Hi, Rahul.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, I hope you are doing really, really well, right?
Yes, sir.
So for the audience, first of all, tell me something about yourself. So then we'll start the interaction.
Sure. First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity to interact with the people here as part of LPU Alumni. And so I'll just start with a brief introduction about me. I started my, I would say, startup when I was back then in the university itself in the end of 2018. I started the startup out of university hostels. So that's when I started my journey in the entrepreneurship. And through this journey, right now, we have done this startup in the sector of space sustainability. So we are building something very, very similar to Google Maps, but for space. So it is throughout one of the innovations through the LPU, right? I have always been hearing about think big motto of LPU, think big, dream big, and that's where we were thinking about all those directions on all these directions, and we realized that okay, there are a lot of problems that needs to be solved on Earth, but there are a lot of problems also in different aspects. Being a CSC guy, I am 2016 batch, computer science batch, but from the BTech CSE also with this motto, with this vision of LPU, and with the vibrant ecosystem of LPU which I had, I was able to start my venture in the space tech sector, and that's where we started in 2018. Right now, we have got investments, we have got multiple things, and I work as the chief operating officer. Right now, I'm managing operations of this. Being the technical guy, I'm into the operations, but yeah, that has been my journey so far.
So that's really amazing, Rahul, to know about you. But let's take a deep dive into your startup, into the technology you're working in, because our freshmen want to understand what exactly this startup is all about. So, guys, this startup is like Digantra Aerospace Technologies, if I'm not wrong, Rahul. So
Digantra,
Diganta Aerospace Technologies, yeah, sorry. So they are something, they are tracking the debris in the outer space, right? So let ask Rahul only, because I understand. So let them understand. Rahul, please elaborate what a debris means in outer space in a common man's language, so that everyone will be on a same platform and they understand what exactly you do.
sure. So let me start with a very, very simple example. So we have been launching satellites from all the way from 1957, and we keep on putting assets to space. But once the life of that asset or once the life of that satellite is over, what happens to it? So imagine you're driving on a highway, imagine you're driving on a road, and there is some accident that happens, or maybe your car ran out of fuel and you leave your car there in the road, in the middle of that road. So what is going to happen? At one day, this road is going to get blocked. A lot of things are going to happen in those ways, right? We definitely do those things in the earth here. We clear those roads. If there are some boulders on the roads, if there is some kind of landslide happens, there are road covered in mud and all those things, so we clear those. But what do we do there in space? We are launching assets to space, we are launching multiple satellites to space, and once the life is over, we leave them up there. And these things actually contribute to junk in space. Now, another thing that happens is that these junk actually keep on revolving around the earth with very high velocities, and they collide with each other. With that, what happens is that there are multiple number of pieces that happen, two objects colliding and having thousands of other pieces. So in that way, we have already about 1 million pieces of objects in space. And these objects are actually threat to the future of space exploration. Maybe today we are able to access space very sustainably, but in the next decade, there's going to be a huge problem in when we exit the space. Let us take an analogy of the aviation sector. In the initial days of the aviation, when the flights just started, the space was very, very free and flights were operating normally. But right now, if you see, airspace is very, very regulated. Every flight has a path, every flight has a route, and everything is set for a flight. They cannot deviate from their routes. And so these kind of regulation will also come in space because of the population, because of the number of objects that are being sent to space and the crowd that is happening in the space. So for that reason, it is very, very important for us to keep a track of all these things and actually make a kind of map platform for space where anyone or everyone who wants to send any asset to space have a Google Maps kind of platform where he can see where I should launch my satellite or where I should operate my asset in the space.
So that's very interesting, Rahul. And if I'm not wrong, till now, more than 11,000 satellites have been launched, but
Yes,
currently there are 3,000 plus only satellites active in the space. Rest 8,000 are destroyed.
yes.
And
And the
and
8,000
I'm
satellite
not
along with the rocket which took these satellites, those rocket bodies, along with there are different stages of rocket, like we have seen that this first stage, second stage. So these stages of rockets, and what happens is there are very, very big satellites that were launched in the initial days. So if these satellite hit with another satellite, they're going to create multiple pieces. So maybe initially when we launched, it was one satellite, but over time it became into 1,000 pieces or maybe 10,000 pieces.
No, I think I can understand. See, more than, if I can say, more than 1 millimeter big, there are more than billion particles of there in the sky,
Yes,
outer space, and more than a billion particles greater than
yes.
1 millimeter in size, right? So it's a huge amount of debris in the outer space, and that might be a threat to ISS also. I hope everyone can understand what is ISS, International Space Station, right? And many other space station,
Satellite.
sorry, satellites are there. Okay, it's muted. So many other satellites are there. As I mentioned, more than 3,000 satellites are there along with the International Space Station. So we all want to know that. So you're not going to go in the outer space and count each and every debris and the path of the debris. So how you are doing this particular thing with the some algorithm, something? How exactly you are trying to do this?
So we have a two-pronged approach for this solution. So what we are doing is, first of all, we are actually developing infrastructure where we can actually map and take the data of these objects. For that, we are deploying sensors on ground and in space. Now, these sensors will actually capture the data about these objects. Once we have captured data about these objects, let's say precise location of these objects, where these objects are there in the space, let's say these, what trajectory are they following, which orbit they are orbiting in. After that, we take that data to our algorithms and we use our algorithms to predict their trajectories for future. So let's say if I track an object today, I'll be able to predict their trajectories for next 1 week, 1 month. And that's where I can tell people that, okay, your satellite can be hit by a piece of junk in next 1 week. If you want to save it, move it to so and so orbit, XYZ orbit or ABC orbit. So that's where we will be able to create space sustainable and more safer.
I want to go a little more deeper into this. When you say you have ground-based sensors to track and monitor the debris in the outer space and the projectile, the path, the speed, and everything, how much small object can your sensor detect sitting on the ground?
So
And
right now,
what is the maximum ceiling height up to which you can detect? I hope I'm
so
asking the right question.
yes, yes. So right now there are two orbital belts which are used mostly. One is the lower Earth orbit, which is from 200 kilometers to 2000 kilometers. And then there is the geostationary belt, which is around 35,000 kilometers. So these ground-based systems generally work for these lower Earth and the geostationary belt, but the ground-based systems have a limitation because of this atmospheric distractions and because of this atmospheric scattering of return signals. So
Very
their
true.
capability is limited up to a certain size, up to 15 to 20 centimeters. But that's why we are deploying our space-based sensors also in space so that we can build our capability to detect objects as small as 1 centimeter. And let me tell you why is it very important to detect these objects, because let me give you an analogy. A small ball bearing, right? A very, very small ball bearing of, let's say, diameter 0.5 or 1 centimeter. When it is traveling in space, it will have an impact of a Wrangler Jeep traveling at 120 kilometer per hour. So you can think if it hits any objects or any satellite, it is going to shred it into
Totally.
pieces.
Totally agree. Totally agree. So Rahul, means it's a path breaking innovation what you have done, sitting on the ground tracking particles which are like kilometers above your head and you cannot see them. That's a groundbreaking innovation you have created. So how you manage your academics along with all these things what you have done during your graduation here?
So initially it was a bit difficult for me because I had to, those study life balance and then study and vision balance because uh, I directly came from schooling, then directly into the university. So that time we have pretty much difficulty in doing those things. But as you progress further with that, and as I was able to interact with the LPU ecosystem, get easier. So I was able to figure out a way how I should be managing both the things. I learned the smart way of doing things. So there are two ways of doing everything. One is, the hard way of doing things where you will be working on some things from day and night and everything. And one is the smart way of doing things. You just have to catch the point, how a thing is done. You have to learn how things are executed. So you have to work on that part, how things are executed rather than doing. I'm sorry, I'm not able
See,
to hear you.
pardon?
I'm
That's
not
what
able
our
to hear you.
that's what our student wants to understand. See, managing 9 to 5 classes and then your startup along with the innovation and everything, it's a, it's a very difficult task. So I hope you're managing all your class pretty well and maintain a good CGPA in the
Yes,
end,
yes,
right?
yes. I was able to get 9 plus CGPA. I was able to get 9.2, 9.4. And so every semester I was having CGPAs in this range only. So, but it was initially, it was very, very difficult to manage because like you mentioned, 9 to 5 classes, and initially in the few days I have to sacrifice, all those things when whatever I used to do after 5, playing, doing some other kind of activities. But later I realized that I have a different vision. Maybe people who want to do sports in their life, they are using their time after 5 o'clock, they're using their time for sports. People who want to do in the debate sector, people who want to do in the journalism sector, they are pursuing their vision. People who want to do in the dance, they are pursuing their vision, and Department of Student Welfare had provided them an excellent, vibrant ecosystem and platform. So that's where I also realized that, okay, maybe I will have to utilize my time, that time efficiently to do what my vision is, to work in my part. And that's when I started utilizing my time. I started dividing my time, and thanks to LPU's faculties also that they understood this thing. And sometimes it used to happen that, I had meetings with higher division of LPU, higher officials of LPU, and that time I had to actually, get from the class. So I was able to catch up with the faculties later, take the notes of the class, and manage my studies. So sometimes it was there that I had to, miss my classes and work for the startup as well. But thanks to the faculties of LPU that I was able to get all those, whatever classes I used to miss, I was able to get all those notes and all those things. So that is one part. That is how it happened. Second thing is that LPU ecosystem was very, very supportive and very, very vast. So that's why if there is any kind of challenge or any kind of difficulty, I did not have to dive much on that. I did not have to spend a lot of time scratching my head, but I used to take support from the different divisions, different departments, and different ecosystems there in LPU. So what used to happen is, let's say I am facing challenge in some mechanical thing, right? While developing a solution, I'm facing challenge in mechanical domain. I used to directly reach out to the mechanical department, and I used to work with them very closely. If I'm having any kind of issue with the electrical, I used to reach out to them and I used to work closely with them, take their inputs on that. So being a CSC alumni, it never stopped me to interact with multiple departments and take their skill set, take their inputs, and take their learnings into my and work on that part. So that's where it has been very helpful for me, and that's how I was able to actually pull it out.
That's really great, really great. I think you might have, inspired many souls right now, and they must be ready to ask your questions, and they must be having many queries to what you and me have to cater right now. Ruby ma'am, can we open the query session so that whatever the students want to know, we can translate that?
Of course, sir. Thank you so much, Rahul, for sharing your experience with the attendees. It was great interacting with you. Thank you so much. And yes, sir, we have few queries from the attendees. So with your permission, we'll take up those queries, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, sir, first of all, I'll take a query which is for Rahul, and the query is from Shushant Sharma. He wants to seek your advice that he's right now confused what he should do in his career. So, because he's not able to decide it the way. So, can you guide him that what to choose, keeping in mind the current scenario?
Sure. Maybe I'll ask Kanish sir because his experience has been great in the sector. So maybe I'll ask him to say a few words on that, and then maybe I can say a little on that.
Can you please, Ruby ma'am, go repeat the question because I was just disconnected.
All right.
Yeah.
So the query is from Shushant Sharma. He wants to know that he's confused right now what to choose in his career. So if you can guide him to you can guide him to he's seeking an advice that what is trending right now, which field is popular, which field is safe for placements and all.
I think by now he must have chosen his career, path. The very first step he must have chosen it. May I ask, or you, Ruby ma'am, can you ask him from which field he is, which stream he has chosen in the
BTech CSE,
lovely professional
BTech
university?
CSE, sir. BTech CSE, CSC branch.
BTech CSE. So BTech CSE, there are many things going on these days. Sushant, if I'm not wrong, is Sushant or Shubham? Sushant, right?
Sushant.
Sushant. So these days, everything in the world are going to be based or depending on two things, right? The very first thing is the material. Every discovery, every groundbreaking discovery is going to be happened with a discovery in the materials. You have to have discover a new material to sustain the upcoming challenges. And second, the most important thing in your field is data. From now on, everything is going to be driven by data. So if you know machine learning, if you know AI, if you know data structures and how to manage data, how to use data in a best possible way, you're going to be the best person in your career these days. I hope Rahul also can answer because he's also from CSE.
Sure. So I'll say what I did at that point in time, because once I was also in that similar stage where I had taken admission in BTech Computer Science, but then I was a little confused where I should be going and all. So what I did is I took some time, I sat back and I introspected. I couldn't find much knowledge that I have gathered on all these different disciplines or all these different opportunities in the market. And that's where I realized that maybe I'm not able to decide because I do not have a clear understanding of what all things are there. That's when I started my few weeks of research and I started learning about different kind of things in the industry, different kind of technologies in the industry, what kind of technologies are there, and I completed my research on that part. And that's when I understood that okay, data is going to be the next big thing. Neural network, neural engines, computer performing multiple tasks on themselves, automation is going to be the new industry. That's how I realized all those things, and that's when I came up with okay, maybe I have to work in this part. And then again, I sat back when I had all this information with me, and again, I thought about it, and again, I wanted to understand from my perspective which thing interests me most. What is it that pulls me towards itself? What is it I'm feeling gravity towards? And that's when I understood that automation and these kind of things are actually pulling me towards them. And that's when I chose my career towards the automation sector and automotive fields. And then certainly I got pulled into the space sector also through that, but that's how I got my clear path. So I'll recommend Sashan, if you can also do similar kind of a activity where you sit back first and you try to analyze what kind of resources and what kind of knowledge you already have on all these industry trends, and then again you do a research and you collect your facts and figures, and then again you do this kind of exercise where you sit back and you do this internal introspection, and then you realize that what is it that is pulling you, and then you start in that sector.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much, sir. And we'll take up another query. And this query is like two, three queries are there. I'll amalgamate in one. So the query is from Himanshu, Shashwat, and Vikas. They are about to take admission in BTech CSE in LPU, but they are in dilemma because they want a good placement in good product based company, and they are interested in coding as well and startup. So sir, can you please guide them that LPU is the best place for all their this endeavors they want to fulfill?
Sure. There was Himanshu, Saswat, and I forgot the third name. I'm really sorry, guys. But yes, you are now getting into LPU and you want to get admitted in the computer science engineering course, right? So best placement services provided for these students. One of the best, highest packages ever achieved by a student. Recently, we have one of our student from BTech CSE achieved a 3 crore package, right? And there are many other stories, but it all depends what your zeal is, what you want to be in your career. See, if you decide then you want to get a placement from a final year placement schedule, then you for sure can get it. You just have to develop those skills in you. And if you want to have the zeal to go towards the startup, we I'm always there for you guys. You just have to bring your idea to me, and we are always there to mentor your idea, to help you in all the legalities and all the fundraising and whatever you want we can do. But be the social change be the social changer in the society, right? You have to have the idea which is groundbreaking, but we always there to help you out. And having said once again that LPU is one of the best your computer science engineering into one of the best product based placement, right? So don't worry about any placement thing here. Just do your part and let us be the decider to make that where you want to go. We'll do that. Don't worry.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for resolving all the queries of our attendees. And with this, we'll conclude our today's webinar. So that's all for today, attendees. Thank you for sparing time and participating in this webinar. I appreciate you all for being here, and I believe your knowledge has been enriched by the inputs and shared by our experts. And sir, thank you so much. I express my appreciation for your valuable contribution towards this webinar. I'm sure your years of experience, your years of research will definitely help the audience to choose the right path. So thank you everyone. Until next time, I, Ruby Gill, finally sign off the session.
Thanks, Rahul, for sparing your time with us.